Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. This time I've got 3 replays to show you featuring the German Tier 8 medium tank, the Panzer 58 Mutz. Now this is the level 100 season pass reward, so a lot of you have probably already got there or you're working your way towards it now. So I thought I'd show you some replays in the tank to see what you could be earning. So we're on Casserine. There is no fun police in the game. I think there's one enemy light tank, but it is a tier 10 lobby, so we are bottom tier and there's quite a few tier 10s in there. Now the Mutz, to be honest with you, I really like it because it's got 280 alpha. So for a tier 8 medium, it's quite, it's nice for those sort of 280 alpha guns. It does feel like you're hitting them, for a good chunk of hit points. And yeah, the gun on this tank is actually really nice actually. It's got decent mobility, 10 degrees of gun depression, and it does have armour. It's not armour which you can just rely upon bouncing shots, especially tier 10 tanks, but when you're fighting those tier 8s you can bounce shots every now and again. Like I say, it's not, it's just that armour where you can get weird bounces. It's not a tank where you'd go, right, I'm hold down, I'm going to bounce these shots. Not at all. I would sort of play it like, assume you're going to get penned, but you can bounce shots. You don't really surprise if you bounce the odd shot here and there. So we're on Casserine. We've come to this position here where we can use this rock and spot up the tanks on the right hand side, and then we can, usually we can work out what we're going to do from there. As it turns out, there's quite a few tanks in our line of fire, and we're actually picking up some nice assistance here, and we actually quite a strong position from where the enemy team are playing. This M41 Brazil light tank, honestly, he gives nothing and he is just full sending, and I'm assuming he's just going to get taken out, if I'm honest, the way he's playing, but he ends up living for a lot longer than he probably should. But we're going to just try and not get too distracted. I don't want to over peak to shoot the light tank and then get shot by all those tier 10 tanks, and I could be out of the game in a flash. So I'm just playing it cool, just looking for the shots, where I can. We just got a nice one into him there. Again, I'm assuming at this point he's going to be taken out, which hasn't happened yet. But now he's, I think I ricocheted a shot in. I do get one in, but then he does snap one into me, and he's now on a one shot. The amount of guns are there, like I say, I'm surprised. The Bulldogs, they're not the hardest light tanks to hit. It's not like a Vanguard. They are quite chunky, and when you play like that, usually get taken out. But he does eventually get taken out by a friendly T-77, and now we don't have to worry about that pest behind us, and we continue trying to get our farming where we can. And we've had a pretty decent start to the game. We've got 2,000 damage, 1,800 assistance. We have blocked one shot for 320 alpha. And we're just going to continue. I see no reason to move at the moment while I'm shooting. It doesn't seem worthwhile. I am keeping an eye on the map just to make sure what's happening. We're not going to get capped out, but we do seem to be taking quite a nice bit of map control on this side. So unfortunately I eat one off the ISM, but now I know it's reloaded. He's rolling. I'm going to try and get a shot in there, putting him onto a one shot to us. But this situation now, I've spotted this IS-7 there on full health, and I'm not confident anymore, because I think, if that IS-7 just decides he's had enough and he's going to full send me, then I will die. There'll be no way of me winning that. The IS-7 might take punish coming in, but he's going to kill me. That's just how it is. So I'm just relocating again, so I've got a bit of distance between me and the IS-7, so and try and create a different angle. I'm getting lit here, but I'm not targeted, which makes me think no one has some clear shots onto me. And now we're sort of taking a little bit of control of the other side. I want to try and take this ridge in front of me and sort of use the enemy ridge against them to poke on this IS-7 and the tanks on the other side. But before I can do that, you've got to look at the tanks which are going to be able to shoot me if that happens, and this Sturv is one. While I'm poking this ridge, he's going to get shots. But at the moment, he's not paying attention, so I'm going to chance it for a shot and see if we can get a one in there. Like I said, I've detected at the moment, but they're not. So 6 sensors going off, but they're not paying attention. So I get that shot in, pop back down, and now I'm getting targeted by this Sturv, so I can't no longer poke that until the Sturv has been destroyed. Fortunately for me, our friendly back chat is going in on the Sturv. If he's got behind him, then he's going to be able to take him out now, and he sets him on fire. So thank you, Mr. Back Chat. Now I can continue to try and get some more shots in. I'm looking to get one into the IS-7. That's going to be a difficult pen at the moment, but he just turns his turret enough for me to get the shot at the back, and then we get that pen in, putting us on to 3,000 damage, 2,000 assistance, and 700 blocked. So yeah, that's worked out pretty well. We've sort of taken all the control of the map now. The enemy team is surrounded, and yeah, like I say, I'm using this ridge against them to get shots into the back of the IS-7, and then yeah, and just try and get shots where I can now. I mean, this game, it feels like it's won, doesn't it? We then ricocheted a shot of someone in the back, which is, yeah, like I say, you know, you can bounce shots when you get those extreme angles, but yeah, probably maybe fortunate to bounce it, but that's, you know, good for us, because that shot, I think, probably would have killed us by the hit points we were on, or would have definitely been close. But this game, we're surrounded enemy team. I just want to get a couple more shots in if I can. I'm looking for a shot in this IS-7, but then the chieftain goes, I think if he just pokes around that corner, I'll get a shot. But that doesn't happen. He's getting absolutely deleted. So I feel like my next shot of damage is probably going to be on this IS-7. So I'm trying to get high up, so I've got an easy pen. Fortunately for me, shows his rear. I do get a shot in, and now I'm just hoping that I get the finish. See if, you know, if I get the reload in the time, and I do, and that pretty much brings us an end to the game. We only get one kill. We have swapped to the HE because obviously we'll be able to pen the Turan, but chances are we're not going to make it there in time. But you got to go, because you never know. You know, the Turan might, you know, somehow survive, but he doesn't. It gets set on fire. And that brings us to the end to replay number 1. But I still have 2 more to show you. So let's just see how we got on. We got 1 kill, 4,000 damage, 2,000 assistance. It's only the first class because we didn't really get enough kills to capitalise on the XP. But it was a bottom tier game, so I thought I would show it. We have 2 more to come, so I will stop rambling and we will see you shortly for the second replay. Okay, so here we are on Casserine again for replay number 2. But this time we are top tier. There is 1 enemy fun police in the game and 1 enemy light tank. We are on assault this time and we are defending. So from this position I am going to full send this ridge straight ahead of me. Because if you get there quick enough, like this tank does have the mobility to get there fast enough, you can spot the cross, get a few cheeky shots in when the enemy team are crossing, and then you can either then shoot on the left hand side, and you can get a bit of knowledge, a bit of intel where the tanks are, and like I say, just go from there once you've worked out what the enemy team are doing. But it's a nice starting position because you can quite often get some cross shots in. But I get quite lucky here because there's an enemy bulldog and he's obviously ASK or not loaded into the game yet. So do I feel bad? I mean, yes, but you're not going to turn down 3 damage at the end of the day. You've got to take that damage. You're still going to light us up. So we've got to take the damage where we can. And then we've got this Skoda T56. So it's clearly my lucky day. Another AFK tank, which we've just got to farm. And again, who's not going to take the damage? You're not going to not shoot the tank, are you? So I'm going to keep farming it blind because he's AFK. So as long as I don't move my reticle, then I'm going to be able to get the kills. So I'm trying to get another shot in if I can. He's on a 1 shot, and then he gets taken out by the Barras. And then we get this bog horror crossing, and this is what I was talking about. Tanks often cross here at the start from this spawn, and you can just get the shots in. I do run camo net on this tank as well, so it's not got the best camo, but I've got it down to like 321, and you know, it does help. And obviously you don't lose anything now with the camo net. As I say, it's not camo net, it's just camouflage. It's a static boost to your camouflage. So we've had a pretty good start of this game, you know, albeit I have farmed 2 AFK tanks. So we're on 2,700 damage. The enemy team has started to make the crossover, so I'm going to look to see if I can get a few shots in here. Now, yes, I probably could have aimed that shot a little bit better, and I've missed out on the shot of damage in the end there. At least I got the bit on the tracks, because it, you know, obviously didn't aim for the tracks, but I didn't fully aim the shell, so it dipped into the track, so maybe I should have been a little bit more patient there. This Black Prince is crossing, so I'm thinking, well, it's not going to be good if this Black Prince crosses in the open like that, because it's a very slow tank, you know, and quite an easy tank to hit, especially when it's side on, and it's got quite a bit of hit points for us to take out. So we're getting some nice shots in there. We've damaged the engine of the Black Prince, who's going to have to burn his repair kit, and we're just going to Look to try and get in a position. I was thinking I might be able to shoot him when he crosses those rocks, but I'm not quite high enough. So I probably should just poke up and use this ridge just to elevate my tank a little bit and get some shots in. Brass is coming. I'm going to put a shot into Brass because it's an extremely good tank and very powerful end game when it's, you know, you can abuse its camo and mobility. And then now just having a little scan to see what we got shots in. I'm hoping I might be able to get another one into this Black Prince if I can, put this on to just shy of 4,000 damage. And then I've just been alerted to these tanks on my left, so I'm thinking they're actually pretty healthy. So I might be able to get a few shots into this T-54E2, but he gets absolutely destroyed in a split second. And unfortunately, I don't have any hit points, you know, for me to shoot. But we do get a shot into the Persian. We're hoping now he's turning to us, so I should be able to get a second shot into this Persian, putting him onto a one shot. And I've still not taken any damage, so that just opens up my possibilities towards the end of the game, you know. I can just start trading shots because obviously I can't take those hit points with us to the next game. The poor Black Prince has done a lot of travelling, but we managed to take him out in the end there, which is, you know, the Black Prince life. And now we've got 2 one-shots to us down here, so I am full health, like I say, so I'm just going to full send in. Doesn't matter if I get shot. We take out the Black Collar. Now I'm going to be out, even if I eat another shot off this C44, it doesn't matter. We'll be able to get a shot in, pick up the kill, put us under 5,000, well, just shy of 5,000 damage. And now we've got this T28 proc, which is a one lonely tank. We get one into the cupola. I'm kind of regretting stopping for that shot because I didn't pen it anyway. I should have just full sended to get behind him because I've got the hit points to do so. I can eat another shot and then I'll be behind the tank, and then there won't be a lot I can do about it at that point. So we get one in now, but I think, unfortunately for me, he's going to get taken out before I manage to pick up the kill. But that brings us an end to replay number 2, with just one more replay to come. So we get 5 kills, 5,000 damage, 500 assistance. Yes, I know we did farm 2 AFK tanks, but it is what it is. One more replay to come, and I'll see you over there in a bit. Alright then, so here we are for the final replay on Hellfire Pass. We are bottom tier again. There is 2 enemy fun police, but we are platooned up with our buddy Swindle, 321, and yeah, let's see what we can do. It is encounter battle. I don't think they have any enemy light tanks, which is nice, especially on a map which is this big, where at the end it can be a bit of a pain to find them. Now I've decided that I'm going to go to the cap at the start, mainly because, not because I necessarily want to cap, just there's quite a nice position that I can use and get a bit of hard cover from this spawn and get shots down onto the enemy team. So I'm going to go there, yeah, and just see what we can do. Obviously, I do have to be careful that the fun police can hit me, but there is a big rock which you can sort of, you know, depending on where the fun police sit, you can keep safe from the artillery. Yeah, depending where they are on the map, obviously. So this is what I'm talking about. This big rock here. It allows me then to take a little bit of cover, so I can peek down on the enemy team like this on this AMX heavy. I can struggle to pen him there, but because he turns his turret, he's got a big old turret, so when it turns side on, it's quite an easy pen, and we get off the mark with our first penetrating hit, which is nice. And now we're going to look, just, you know, try and lose our spot, use these little bushes where we can to get our shot off, and getting another penetration, and we're just going to rinse and repeat basically, and until the shots dry up and we need to do something a little bit different. So we've got 2 shots in first. It's getting a little bit contested here with our friendly team. Obviously, we are going to be aimed at by the fun police, etc., because we're capping at the moment. Not that I plan to actually cap out, because, well, each to their own, but I prefer to just try and play for a bit of a damage rather than sit in the cap. But at the moment, I'm just looking to get some shots in. And obviously, if we do get too low in the cap, I probably will just get out, unless it's looking like we're a certain loss, obviously. So we get another penetration shot here. The fun police is aiming at me, but like I say, I'm a little bit safe with this rock. It's awkward because me and the standard B are trying to use the same rock, so we're just trying to be a little bit careful and not push each other out or anything silly, because you don't want to do that and ruin someone else's game. This Valor comes in for the reset, but we managed to get a kill in and show us lower plate. But now it's getting a little bit awkward to play here with just this standard B, trying to use a position, and I want to get out and reset the cap points so I can continue to try and get a bit more damage out of the game. So I've just done that, but then I've got a spot here, and it looks like it's an E50, who's kind of all by itself, but it is kind of awkward because it means we can't use this side of the map without getting shot by the E50. We're trying to get a few punish shots in, but we can't use that position anymore. So what we're going to do is try and get back into the fight and look for a few shots. I'm just seeing if we've got any shots possible at the moment. Unfortunately, Sai gets taken out by the Death Star, this Death Star, but hopefully we can now get a punishing shot in. He's got set on fire, and we managed to just pick up the kill, putting us onto 1500 damage, a little bit of assistance, and 1 kill. But there's still plenty of tanks left in the game, and so far it's been a fairly even battle. You know, it's 12-11 at the moment, and it's pretty close. So we're going to look to see if we can get any shots. And as I poke up, the worst thing which could appear in front of me, an AMX 5120. I don't want to be caught out by this guy, but we do manage to get one into the track wheel. And thankfully, my friendly teammate in the standard B has gone in on this guy. So I'm going to come in and try and help him out as best I can, because you know, you got to try and do that. And we get a couple of shots in, and then we manage to, between us and the Leopard, actually do take him out. Which is good, putting us onto 2000 damage and just shy of 500 assistance. And now we've got a little bit more control of this situation now, and we're able to move up. And I'm trying to get into a position so I can get side shots onto these tanks basically, and use the elevation to my advantage, so I can try and keep myself protected. We've got an opportunity to kill this wreck, so we pick up the kill, and yeah, I've got to be aware that there was an E50 to potentially shoot me from behind. But this is where, we've got looking for some few shots, and this is where I quite like the change to the artillery, where they in the terms of their hit point pool increase. I know a lot of people might not like that. It's each of your own, but I quite like it just because this situation right now is a lot more hit points to the farm, and my game's going to be a lot bigger by the fact that I can just farm these artilleries at the end. It's unfortunate for them that they're not going to be able to get safe to me, but we don't really feel too sorry for the fun police. It is what it is. He gets unspotted, but we go for the blind kill anyway, and then we get like all of his hit points. And then we've got another 1000 hit points to farm of this SU-14. There's nothing they can do about it. They're stuck in the open. We just get to farm all this lovely damage at the end, which is, I think that's our reward for being shot at them by all game. They're shooting us all game. We get to farm a little bit more hit points. It's all good. So we managed to pick up the medal for killing the 2 artillery. Puts us on to just over 4000 damage. 5 kills, 5 kills. And now we're trying to get some shots into this E50, which has kind of been in this position by itself all game. I thought I was going to get a shot blind there. I'm hoping maybe he's still there behind all those bushes, but it doesn't look like it. I would like to get the kill if I can, because it would be the top gun if I do. I was looking to try and go down, but I thought, I was kind of eyeing up, but maybe he's going to poke again and I'm going to get a shot. By the fact that he's been in that position all game, I was kind of thinking maybe he's not going to move. But unfortunately he gets shot down by the SU, so I don't pick up that kill. But we do go on to have a decent game for bottom tier lobby, and we get 5 kills, 4500 damage, just shy of 500 assistance, 4 blocks. We get the ace tanker, the medal for killing 2 tanks 2 tier higher, and killing the 2 artillery. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!